YouTube, what's going on? So, a 590 to a whopping 720 and counting. That's what the agenda is. That's what we're talking about. So why don't we talk about it? So, if you've been watching all my videos, then you understand that I always start every video in this manner, right? Just really thanking you for taking the time to watch the video, listening. A simple gesture of like, dislike, of course, comment, and share the video takes it a long way. It really helps someone else who are looking for that type of content to find it, just like you was able to find it. But we don't know how you got here, but we're glad that you're actually listening and watching. Right? But please consider subscribe. It would definitely help the channel grow greatly. So I appreciate you guys. So from 590 to a whopping 720 in less than 60 days. Okay. How I was able to help this person to do that is what we are going to discuss. Hopefully you could take anything out of this, what I've done. Hopefully consider if you're in the same situation to help you get you to your ultimate goal. Now, one thing that you have to take into account, everyone is a case-by-case basis. There's no one solution that fits all. The reason being, what you have in your credit report may be totally different than what I have, what may be causing some problem for someone else. It may be different for some other person, right? So, and vice versa. So you have to keep that in mind. So if you go do everything that I'm saying within this particular person, you may not get the same result. Reason being, you may have different things that's causing different problems. And you have to kind of understand the 5 category in regards to what I just said, because the 5 categories is what's responsible. It's how the algorithm actually calculates your credit score, right? So if you haven't seen, if you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch it so you get a better understanding of the 5 categories. They are responsible for your credit score, right? So everyone start with a 300 and you could go up as high as 850. But the 5 category is what bridged the gap, right? You need to understand what the 5 categories are. So for the purpose of this video, I will move forward because I like to keep it short, okay? So why don't we get started? From 590 to a whopping 720 is still counting. Next month, it may even go even higher, right? So here's what was done. Here's what was in this person's credit report, right? And I did file an addendum with that person. I send them a letter to make sure that it was okay to even discuss this. They blessed me with the go ahead, then that's why I'm here. I think it was the right thing to do to make sure, even though I'm not name dropping and giving you any type of personal information of this particular individual, but I also wanted to get the okay and get the blessing to try to help someone who probably going to see this video. So now that we got all that out of the way, I do have some notes because it's a lot. So the first thing was that I noticed when I saw this person's credit report, they only have 2 revolving debt. What are revolving debt? I also did a video on that. But to quickly give you a definition, revolving debt is like a credit card, right? Credit card is like a form of revolving debt. Okay, so that person only had 2, and the total limit between the 2 was like 15K. But the thing that was hurting them in regards to those 2 revolving debt, those 2 credit cards, is because one of them was maxed out at 60% and the other one was maxed out at 40%. Right off back, that's a major problem because that fall under the utilization category, which is the second highest category, which is account for 30% of your credit score, and you can earn 165 points on that particular category. So that category was really hurting this individual. So what I was able to do for the person, good thing they had the cash on hand, I was able to get this person to pay those credit cards down to under 7%. right, from 60 and 40% utilization to under 7%. And I had that person reach out to the original lenders, to those credit card company, and ask for an increase. And they was granted an increase of $9,000, would take them to $24,000 right off back. And then I also had the person file for 2 more revolving debt, which were 2 more credit cards, and as a total of $10,000, between the two, which take them to $34,000. So now, as you can see, just that alone, your credit score going to go sky high. Just on this particular subject that we talked about, utilization, just all I have said to you and all we have done with that person on just one category will take your credit score pretty high. But we have more of what we've done. So that was one thing that we noticed. And the next thing was that person had 2 late payment in the last 6 months, right? 2 late payment in the last 6 months. But what really help with those particular category, with those 2 late payment, that person actually had bank records showing that the money was taken out of their bank account on time for those payments. But in the credit report, it shows that that person was 30 days late. So what I was able to do is to get the bank records, right, and write a letter to those lenders, and showing them that, those late payment was incorrect in the credit report, because this person had records showing that y'all take the money out on time, and I was able to get those late payment removed. And the third thing is that person on their credit report also had full collections, right? Two of which was medical bills, and the other 2, if you look at the credit report, one thing you have to understand is that with the lenders, once they have sent you to collection, that means they either have sold the debt to a third-party collection agency, or they have hired in-house to try to send you to collection, right? So in this person, this debt was sold to a third party, meaning that the lender has written that debt off. So within that particular account in your credit report, you should not see an amount for a past due balance. You should see a balance of the total amount that you owe, but in the section of the past due balance, this should not be a number of how much you past due for. So in this person's case, 2 of the account had that. So I knew something was wrong there. By law, you shouldn't have it because the debt has already been written off. So I wrote a dispute letter to our 3 credit bureau, asked them to verify that information, not validate, but asked them to verify it. I already knew something was wrong, but I wanted them to tell me everything was okay on their end. And once they have done so, I knew I had something. So I was able to provide facts, and they was able to remove 2 of this account. The other 2 was collection from medical bills. So if you look at your credit report, you will see the original creditor, whether it's a hospital or a doctor's office, and this person, one of them was a hospital, the other one was a doctor's office for a copay. So what I was able to do, have that person call those original, not the actual collection agency. You don't want to pay collection agency. All they're looking for is their money. Once they have get it, they gone. So I was able to have this person call the hospital billing department, and also call the doctor's office billing department and pay them directly. And once you have done that by law, the law states that once either the hospital or the doctor's office, any medical establishment has taken a payment from you, they cannot send you to a credit collections, or if it isn't collection, they have to pull it out of collection and keep it in-house. So I was able to do that and get all 4 of them removed from this person's credit report. Okay, and the very last thing was I noticed there was a foreclosure, one foreclosure from almost 4 years ago on this person's credit report. So what I was able to do in terms of the foreclosure, I looked at, in the credit report, I looked at the personal information for that person and saw that it was the same address where the foreclosure was. So I was able to get them to update the personal information to the current address of this individual, and also update that foreclosure account with the old address. And also we was able to get the court paperwork, the documents from court for that foreclosure, and we challenged that with LexisNexis, which is the database that is responsible to hold all your public records. Any judgments, so on and so forth, will be there. We was able to challenge directly there in conjunction to the credit bureau, because we saw there was some inconsistent information between the court paperwork, between LexisNexis and the credit bureaus. So we was able to challenge with the credit bureaus and also with LexisNexis. And at the end of the day, we was able to get that removed from this person's credit report because of the inconsistencies and the updated information of the personal information. So we was home free. So by doing all of those things quickly, under 60 days, we was able to go from 590 to a whopping 720 and counting. And I'm sure next month that credit score probably going to jump up even more. So those are the things I was able to do for that person, and we was able to get the credit score to 720 and counting. So if you are possibly going through similar situation, and one of those was what you was having problem with, that was hurting your credit score, you could actually use the same tactic. But keep in mind, everyone is a case by case. Don't go and do everything that I'm telling you right now. Just look at your credit report. That will tell you exactly what you need to work on. Again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please help the channel grow and go and subscribe. All right, thanks.